Hello, everyone, and welcome to Remnant Mentality Ministries. My name is Marie Rogers, and so thankful once again for another opportunity to be before you today. Another Thankful Thursday. Look, just a friendly reminder, we are on all social media platforms. So if you haven't had an opportunity to look at them, I ask that you go back under Remnant Mentality Ministries and look at them. Take a look, share, like, comment. If you haven't subscribed on YouTube, when you're not on YouTube, go on YouTube and just subscribe for us. Listen, the messages that we put out, they may help you or could help someone else. So that's why we ask you to share. That's the only way that we're going to get our messages out is if you share amongst the people that you know that we may not know. So look, today I want to talk a little bit about shifting our mindset, shifting our thinking, and to truly believing that what we ask God, that we truly believe that we're going to get, right? And knowing that the things that God has for us, they're for us. Now, you ever wonder why it appears sometimes that some people get exactly what they want at the exact time that they want it or the exact time that they need it? And why some of us sometimes not so much? And I'll tell you, I was like that many years ago. Not that I didn't get something, but it was amazing to me at times to just see some people, and they never told you why, and I never asked, but it was just amazing to me how things seem to fall in place for certain people at just the right time in their lives. And we've all heard and read little blogs, little quotes on the differences between success and failure, excellent and outstanding, good and great. And the things that we've heard some of those successful people talk about, what the difference was, from one step to another, what they had to do. And if we go back and we listen to some of them, a lot of them have said it was their faith, right? Like they believe. Some of our greatest inventors, some of these people with these different social networks, these applications, right? All of these things, what end up happening is they may have started something. Someone says, oh, that's crazy. It's not going to happen. That doesn't sound right. And they bailed, they got out. But they stood still and they said, you know what? This is what I believe. It's going to work, right? And so this is what I think. This is what I truly believe. A lot of that comes from two things. One, their faith. And not just their product or what they're trying to do, but their faith in giving it to God and trusting that God's going to answer their prayer. And the other one is belief. They truly believed it. And so sometimes that's what we have to do. It doesn't matter what somebody else may think about what we're doing so much. If we have a strong conviction and we go to God and we're listening to God, we're going to hear what he says and we go to him. But here's the thing. When we go to God and we ask for these things, we have to go to him in earnest. We have to go to him with our story. And so we'll be able to hear exactly what he's saying. Now, I found this quote and I thought, there's a couple quotes, but I found this one quote that I thought would really resonate with us today and go along with my message for tonight. Speak what you seek until you see what you said. So if you believe in something, don't give up on it. Don't give up on it. See it through. And then the other thing is, obviously, the famous quote from Martin Luther King is about faith, right? So faith is taking the first step, even when you don't see the whole staircase. And that's what a lot of us have to do. And sometimes we get so comfortable where we're at that we are afraid to take that step. Well, here's the thing. How are we going to get somewhere if we don't move? We have to take that step. Doesn't mean that it's always going to end up right once we do it, but we have to take a step. God's not going to just give us stuff. I don't know anyone that has just sat, not done anything, not taken one step, not said one thing, and got exactly what they wanted when they needed it or when they wanted it. So we got to take the first step. We have to still have action. We have to apply that to what we're asking. One thing we have to do is when we're asking God for these things, we truly go to him, you got to go to him with that belief. You got to ask with expectancy. Don't just ask. And I'll tell you, I know many of us, I know I am guilty of this, at some point, you sit back and you go to God and you say, God, this is what I want. This is what I think. This is what I want to be. This is what I want to do. We put doubt. We cast doubt over what we're saying we want. Look, if we're going to go to God and we're going to have it with him, there's no need for us to go because we're going to him with expectancy. So we got to give it to him. Right? No one expects us to handle or get anything on our own. In fact, we can't. It's God that we need. It's God that's doing it for us. So if we go there and we start doubting ourselves, we start doubting God, even worse, No need to go. No need to ask. Just as well as we can speak things that we want, we can also block those things that we want by casting doubt over what we say when we go to God with. So we just have to be careful about that, right? So today, this is going to be quick. I just have a quick story, a personal story that happened to me. Like I said, many years ago, I was kind of shaky. Also, I was one of those ones that, if it happens, great. If it doesn't, well, I guess it wasn't supposed to happen. I guess it wasn't for me. And then over time, different things happened. Like God showed up different ways. And I started, for me, when I went to God, I talked to him, and it was, there was sometimes I went to him and I just cried. I didn't say anything, but I felt the comfort. I felt him comforting me to let me know it's going to be okay, that he has me. And there's other times, I just go in and say, look, God, this is how it is. We have to do that. We can be ourselves when we're talking to God. We don't have to put on a certain type of clothes. We don't have to smell good in front of him. We don't have to do that. We don't have to talk a certain way, because he knows, he just wants us to come to him and ask. It's like a child, right? Sometimes when that child needs something, at least I do, right? I know sometimes when my child needs something, and it gets to a point, you try to intercede, you help them out, help them. But at some point, you want them, you say, you know what, I'm gonna stay up. I'm gonna wait and see if they're gonna come to me, because I want them to be able to trust me. I don't always want to go in. I want to see if they realize that they need help. So that's the same thing with God. We have to learn to put our trust and our belief in God. So today, what I want to talk about is speaking things into existence, right? And like I said, when we go to God, when we say something, we got to say it with full conviction, faith, and we have to believe in it. So a couple years ago, I'll go into the scripture first. So the title is going to be Speak Things That Are Not As Though They Are. And so the main scripture that I'm going to go over is going to be Mark chapter 11, verses 22 through 24. And that's in the NLT. And it says, then Jesus said to the disciples, have faith in God. I tell you the truth. You can say to this mountain, may you be lifted up and thrown into sea, and it will happen. But you must really believe it will happen and have no doubt in your heart. I will tell you, you can pray for anything. And if you believe that you received it, it'll be yours. There's nothing greater than that. There's nothing else to say about that. You just have to believe it. Same thing that I've been saying. We have to believe. We go in earnest, and we go in faith. We go in trust that what we ask God, no matter how crazy, how outlandish it may seem to the people that are around us, no matter all the negativity says that's not going to happen. God's not going to do that for you. Look, no one can tell you who you are, right? No one's with you 24 hours. No one knows your heart more than God. So disregard all that negative thinking. That's just the enemy, right? The enemy has plants all around. Because what they want to do is they want to pull you from your faith. They want to pull you from that belief that things can happen. They want you to go back and say, yeah, I thought about doing it, but I'm going to wait. Oh, I thought about doing it, but I don't think it's going to happen. And some of us fall for that. But we got to stand strong in our conviction. We have to believe that what we're asking for, God can give to us just the right time. And so, like I said, if you're one of those that are sitting there and you're saying, man, I've done that. I think I've asked, and this is where I'm at, and everything keeps coming up bad. Everything keeps coming up short. It's not happening. Go back and really think about what it was and how you asked for it. And did you wait long enough? Because some of us will ask, and I'm guilty of this too. You'll ask for something, especially when you wait to the last minute, when you try all your best to try to get it done yourself. And we want it right now, today, tomorrow, next week. Oh, at the latest in the month. It's got to be here. It's got to happen for us. And then when it doesn't, we give up. When it doesn't, we do something else. And then the very first thing we say is, yeah, that didn't happen for me. I don't think God hurt me. Or he must not have wanted me to have it. So I encourage you, go back and just think about those things that you asked for. Don't let the circumstance that you're in right now, your current situation, even if it doesn't look good, even if you're in that lull in that valley, don't let that dictate your future. Don't believe that that's all that God has for you. Don't give up. Still believe and have faith and go and ask. And again, you ask with expectancy. So here's a story. This honestly is what happened. So in 2018, I left October 2018. I told my kids I was leaving. I'm here in Phoenix, and I told them that I was leaving. I had a job, and I was going back to the East Coast to be with my mom, get some things taken care of there with my mom. Wasn't sure when I was coming back. Right now, that's pretty much the conversation I had with my kids, and all they said was, "Okay, well, you sure this is what you want to do?" It was kind of like, all right, I guess they're waiting for me to leave. But so here's the thing. So I had my grandson with me, and he was a little kid, and I go to him, and I had spent almost like every day with him, right? And so I apologize. I had a talk with him, and I told him, I says, hey, I'm gonna have to leave for a while. I said, but I'm gonna be back. I said, I'm gonna come back every couple of months, and everything will be good. All the important things that goes on, I'm gonna make sure I'm here for it. And his question was, when are you coming back? So now this is the first time that I had to answer, because my kids, they didn't ask that question, right? And so what is in Matthew 7, chapter 7, verse 7 says, asking it shall be given, seeking you shall find, knocking it shall be open unto you. So he asked, he wanted to know, and that's what he did. And that's what we have to do sometimes. Just ask, go to God and ask. So this is the exact answer I gave my grandson at the time. I said, I'll be back before you have to change schools. I didn't know when that was. We're talking 3 years from now or so. So I leave 2019. I'm still homesick, but I'm getting used to an area. I'm okay. It's a different environment for me. Don't think anything else of it. My grandson didn't ask me that whole first year. So 2020 comes, the pandemic hits. Now I start to think, wow, should I try to do something now? I know I said I was going to come back before you change schools. I don't even know if I'm going to get a chance to leave, with everything that's going on. So now 2020 is done and over with. January 2021 comes, and I say, ooh, maybe I should start thinking about what I want to do. I know I said that he's going to change schools, and obviously he's going to change schools here in August is when they start school. So March comes, April comes, and finally I said, you know what? I'm gonna put my resume out there. I'm gonna see what's there. I'm gonna meet God in the middle, right? So two things. I had an interview. I thought the interview went really well. I knew I wasn't totally qualified for the job, but I said, you know what? I think I can make it happen, right? And then after a couple of days, I was like, I don't know that that's probably not gonna be a good fit for me. I started talking things out, casting doubt. And this is what I say, we don't block our blessings. And I'm not saying that I would have gotten a job if I didn't, but I definitely know, because I casted doubt on it. God is saying, hey, you're not trusting me. Let me do my job. You spoke it. Let me bring it into existence for you. Well, guess what? I didn't get that job. Found out in June, I didn't get the job, but it was okay. And part of that okay for me was I had already, I guess because I had already started saying, well, didn't think that was good, getting a good fit. So it didn't hurt as bad. But I still in the back of my mind knew that I promised my grandson, I'm going to be back before you change schools. Well, guess what? So I had another interview in June. Now I find out school starts August 2nd. And I said, shucks, we're on crunch time now. But I got a call. I got an email, should I say, July 28th. I got an email with a job offer. I'm going to tell you, God is good. He is so good. I spoke that thing almost 3 years before, not even knowing that there was a way that I would be back. Didn't even know. I didn't press. I didn't think about it every couple of months. I didn't say, oh my God, I got to get back. I didn't do that. I let God work it. I spoke into this. I told God, and I told my grandson, I'll be back before you change schools. He started school August 2nd. I got a job offer July 28th. I was here, started school because I asked for a couple of weeks before I reported, but I was back here. And I'm going to tell you, if you never understood or could grasp the magnitude of what God can do, just wait until he does it for you. And when he does it for you, don't just say, oh, yeah, thanks, God, you did it for me again. Oh, God, you came through. No, you spoke into existence. You did your part. You asked. I believed. I in earnest. I had faith, I believed, and it happened. So I'm telling you, that's not just for me. That can happen to any one of us. Any one of us. We just have to go to God and we just have to ask. And we have to believe. And if we have to act, we have to do a certain part to get to that point. So again, the first thing that we do, we got to ask. We have to have faith. We have to believe. Don't ask if you're not going to believe. Don't ask if you don't want God to work. Don't ask if you're going to cast doubt on your own thoughts. Watch the naysayers. Watch those people that are coming around being negative to take you away from what you've already spoken. Because God hears it. As soon as you say it, God hears it. It's on him at that point. He's getting to work. He's always working. We don't have to keep going and ask. God, you remember that, right? You don't have to do that. He knows. He is so capable. Way more than us. We can't even imagine all the things that he can do. But I tell you, he is awesome in the things that he does. He is so magnificent. And so I just tell you this because I say, many of us have gone through these lows and we sit and we say, you know what, I think this is all that he has for me. And I've been there too. I've been in those times when I said, you know what, I guess this is it. I've been through jobs where I just sat there, no promotion. I've been through places where I said, I want to get out of this, but it hasn't happened. So I guess this is where I'm supposed to be. We got to change our thinking. We got to change our mindset. We got to have faith because that's what this is all about. Look, this walk is hard enough with all the things that we have around us. Let's not put that baggage on ourselves. Let's let God lead us. The path is set. And I say this all the time. And I say that not just for you, but I say this for me too, because sometimes I get it in my head and I make it more difficult than what it is. And it's not. I try to fit me into other things and I don't have to. You don't have to. Each one of us are different. You don't have to be like someone else. Just believe. Ask God, talk to God, listen to God. Be ready to hear what he has for you. Know that what he has you is for you. It's not for somebody else. You don't have to worry. Well, no, I don't want to tell this person because they may. No, you don't have to worry about that. So like I said, I'm going to leave that with you only because for me, that was the, as they say, the creme de la creme, right, of things that have happened to me. It was perfect timing. I gave that thing to God years ago and it manifested. And it was I was at peace. And believe it or not, other than me being homesick, I was in peace. I never went back to say, I wonder if it's going to happen. I think it's going to happen. I hope it's going to happen. That was one of the first time I gave it to God. I went to him. And like I said, there were days I went and I didn't say anything to him. I sat in the closet with him and that was it. And then there was other days I talked to him. And it happened. So if it happened for me, it can happen for you. So don't give up. Go to God and ask. Have faith and just believe. I thank you again. I thank you for letting me into your homes, into your jobs, just for you listening, taking moments out of your time to listen. Again, we're on, this is Marie Rogers with Remnant Mentality Ministries. Listen, we have a ton of messages out there. We're out here every day, and our senior leader, Pastor Angela, gives a full message on Sunday. Tune in. Same thing, YouTube, Facebook, she's on there. We ask for your support. We try to encourage you. We try to give a little bit of the Bible, a little bit of verses, because sometimes it's easier to take little chunks than a big old forkful, right? Just taking it a little bit at a time. Sometimes we can digest it a little bit better. And sometimes it resonates with us a little based off of our situation. And that's why we ask you to share. So I truly do appreciate each and every one of you. I thank you once again for your time. Until next time, I just say have a beautiful, blessed day. Thank you very much.